Okay, it's been way too long. I'm Shane with Hunger for Horror. Finally back with another video. I've actually acquired things since the last video because it's been about 5 months. So I actually have a lot to share with you today. We've had Christmas and binges at the Dollar Tree store and stuff like that. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. So, Bermuda Triangle, Irving Berlitz's. This is a documentary that's pretty fun, and it's never been officially released on disc. It did have a VHS release, I believe, way back in the late 70s, early 80s. But this is a pretty good bootleg, and it's the only thing that is available, really. But anyway, it's just, basically a recorded disc. But, it looks like it was ripped off of a good quality VHS, so until, an official release comes out, which I doubt one ever will because it's been so long, this one will have to suffice. So I'm glad I at least have this one. So there you go. Got that on eBay. My son decided he wanted this, so we've acquired both Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And of course the original is a classic. Haven't seen Charlie yet. Idiocracy. This is a very funny comedy from Mike Judge. It's been around for a while. I've always liked it and always thought of a lot of the lines from it, and they really stick in your memory. So I decided I needed to have this as part of my collection. It's really good. I got that for Christmas. Sergeant Bilko I only had on VHS. I collect Steve Martin movies, but this also has several other movies I like. Cloak and Dagger, Wizard, Cop and a Half, King Ralph, Matinee, which I started, haven't finished yet, Ghost Dad, Ed, A Simple Wish, and The Borrowers. Anyway, this is a pack of 10 family movies. They're all rated PG, so they're nothing too offensive, I guess, rather, in these movies. So, and you can watch basically with the family. So, it's a good collection. This was like $8 at Amazon when I bought it, and it's put out by Universal. So, things aren't terribly compressed. I didn't notice any major compression issues. In most cases, they put on 2 of the discs they put 3 movies, and on one of them they put 4. But overall, great value for the money for $8. This is a hard collection to beat. It's got a lot of really good, well-known classic movies on it. So if you need something to watch with the kids, that'd be a good one. Gumball Rally, which I haven't seen in Cannonball Run 2, I got for Cannonball Run 2 because, of course, Cannonball 2 does not have a Blu-ray release, and I don't think the first one does either. That was a Christmas gift. So was this, the original Cannonball Run. So, classic Burt Reynolds stuff. The cast is better than the movies, actually. I mean, they're fun to watch, and there is some funny dialogue, but they're just not quite as good as they should be, I think, in my opinion. But here was a bucket list one that I wanted for a long time, and it finally got down to a price that I could live with, because it's been out of print for a while, and that's Molly Ringwald, Malicious. I wish that this was a widescreen, but I think this is the only release of this movie. And it's on DVD and full screen. So it's a really good movie. It's a good kind of sensual thriller kind of thing. So if you like that sort of movie, if you can find a copy of this, you might pick that up. I really like this movie a lot. So I'm glad to finally have a copy of it. So it was kind of one of my bucket list movies. Alright, now that was just kind of some miscellaneous DVDs. I'm going to go ahead and throw some Blu-rays at you, and then I'm going to show you some videos, DVDs that I picked up for $1 at Dollar Tree or pawn shops or whatever. But anyway, here we go. Extro 3, Watch the Skies. Really didn't have the same feel as the original Extro. I really like the original Extro. I watched this and I did enjoy it. It was kind of looked like something that Canon Films would have made back in the 80s, but I enjoyed it. It was worth it. Aquaman. I know some of these aren't horror, but I'm just sharing everything with you. Got this on sale. I really like. This is one of my favorite of the superhero movies, so I really enjoyed this one. Tex Avery Screwball Classics Volume 1. Volume 2 is out now. Yeah. Out now as well, and I have not acquired it yet. But this is some great classic cartoon stuff if you like Droopy Dog and Screwy Squirrel and all that, or Screwball Squirrel. It's got some of their cartoons plus some of the one-offs that Tex Avery did. Tex Avery, of course, if you know anything about animation, you probably know his name anyway, and definitely if you want to see some really good classic cartoons, you should check out the Tex Avery collections. Single White Female, great suspenseful thriller with Jennifer Jason Leigh and Bridget Fonda. Both actresses do an incredible job in this. This is definitely one of the best stalky type thrillers that I've ever seen. I like it a lot. Deep Blue Sea 3. I'd heard good and bad about it, and I actually thought it was pretty good. Most people like it more than 2. I don't know if I liked it more than 2. I probably liked it as much as 2. But anyway, for your shark movie fix, this will probably work for you. So it's a good shark movie. Not the greatest, but you know, still a good one. Worth checking out. Hateful Eight. A lot of people don't like this one. A lot of people do like it. I'm in the camp that does like it a lot. It's a Western with crazy Quentin Tarantino style finesse on it, because he was the one that directed this, I believe. So yeah. So Hateful Eight, good hardcore Western with a little extra kind of mystery twist to it. Ma. I really like Octavia Spencer, and she does a fantastic job in this movie. I enjoy this. It's a good thriller, and it really keeps you interested in figuring out what she's going to do next. So definitely one that you should check out. Halloween 4, finally. I have all the other ones. So except for Resurrection, which I don't count as a Halloween movie at all. So there's 4. And there's 5. Greystone Park. This movie wasn't one of my favorites. It was $1. So I've never made it all the way through it. What I've seen is okay, but let's just say I'm not in love with this one. But it's alright, what I've seen. Schoolgirl Hitchhikers. This is a Gene Rollin movie, so this doesn't have that horror twist to it, but it definitely has, you know, a lot of nudity in it. So if that's what you're going for, with a little bit of a story, this is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. It's 70s grindhouse exploitation, whatever you want to call it. If it's from the 70s, I'm not sure. I'm not sure when this one came out. Oh, 1973. It is the 70s. No wonder it looks so 70s. It is. Okay, so there we go. Puppetoon movie. This one is a limited edition, and is a little pricey, but you know, they probably aren't going to print very many of them for very long, so spend a little extra, so I wouldn't risk just not having a copy at all. And this is a style of animation, excuse me, that was made very popular back in the mid-20th, well, you know, kind of like around the 1950s, so to speak, where they use puppets and, you know, stop frame animation. So this is good for people that like that sort of animation. It's definitely what I would consider an essential must-have if that's your kind of animation that you like. Clear and Present Danger, Harrison Ford. I got it cheap. I don't have a lot of Harrison Ford stuff, especially some of these better action movies of his. And I like this one from what I remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I went ahead and picked it up. Poltergeist, classic stuff. Love it. The Prowler, the one that people have talked about forever from the 80s, and I was around in the 80s, when I watched a lot of my movies, and how I missed this one, I guess I just didn't get around to it. But definitely an effective slasher, so if you like slashers, check it out. The Woman, Arrow, finally got some Arrow stuff, and I really enjoyed this one, so it's definitely worth checking out. So, Torso. Very suspenseful movie. I used to have this on DVD, got rid of it, so now I have the Blu-ray, so now I'm glad to have it back. Snuff, another one I used to have. Got rid of it. Wished I hadn't. Now I have a Blu-ray of it, so I got the better version. And this is not a great movie. It's more notorious for its marketing than it is the actual movie itself. Not that the movie in and of itself is horrible. It's actually, you know, I think it's worth watching. But it's, you know, the legend around this movie is bigger than the movie itself. I think that's about the best way I can put it. Tomb Raider, why not? Got that cheap, and I like this movie, so went ahead and got it. I also like the remake that they did, the reboot they did here a few years ago. Elizabeth Harvest, haven't watched yet. It was $1, so if you've seen it, go ahead and give me your thoughts on it, if you like. Weekend at Bernie's. This is almost horror. It involves a dead guy, right? Carrying around a dead guy. This is one of the funniest comedies ever. It's just so ridiculous and stupid that you got to laugh at it. So if you missed this one in the 80s, definitely check out Weekend at Bernie's. It's very funny. Mel Gibson, Bloodfather. Movie I wanted to see. After I saw the previews, I went, boy, that looks really good. And it turns out it was good. My wife and I both enjoyed this one. So definitely something that you should check out if you are like Mel Gibson at all. It's one of his later movies. So more Arrow stuff. Basket Case. And this is an upgrade to my DVD that I have, my old Image DVD. So Basket Case is a classic. This is probably the best version of it I've ever seen. Arrow, of course, does a great job always. Steve Martin stuff. House Sitter. Love Steve Martin. Whoops. Getting clumsy dropping stuff. Finally got to see Star is Born, which I think this is the 4th version of this movie that's been made. This is the only version I've seen, so I can't compare it to the other ones. But talking to people that have seen multiple incarnations of this movie, many people say this is as good or better than the other ones. So I figure I had a good version to add to the collection. Wolf of Wall Street. Non-stop vulgarity is basically what this movie is. It's based off a true story. It is kind of entertaining, but it's probably a little longer than it needs to be for my taste. But I mean, it has lots of profanity and a fair amount of nudity, not 70s standards, but a lot for when it came out, which I can't remember if this came. When did this come out? 2013? Yeah. So it's about 7-8 years old now. But it's if you like the Martin Scorsese movies, that's who did this. It's a Martin Scorsese movie, so if you've seen Casino and Goodfellas, you're well aware of his style. And his style is all over that movie, for sure. Next ones I've got here, I got these as gifts. Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, Christopher Lee, which is a G-rated Dracula movie. And then the same gentleman that got me that also got me Taste the Blood of Dracula, which is a Hammer R-rated Dracula movie. So we go from one extreme to the next. We got the G and we got the R. So whatever. So I have yet to check these out, unfortunately. It doesn't mean I don't want to see them. It's just I've had a lot to watch, so I'm slowly getting through them. Serpent the Rainbow, classic movie, upgraded from the VHS. Finally got it in disc on a Blu-ray. Nice, beautiful Blu-ray from Shout Factory. Comedy with a couple of my favorite country artists, Roy Clark and Mel Tillis, both gone now, unfortunately. Burl Ives, Burt Reynolds, Glenn Campbell, all these people are gone. And this is a very fun, fairly harmless little comedy you can watch with the family. It's got a little edge here and there because it is PG, but it's not bad at all. So definitely a fun movie and something that my wife and I both enjoyed watching. Here's one I haven't watched yet. This is a Dollar Tree pickup, Kill Katie Malone, Dean Cain. So be interested to hear your thoughts on that if you've seen it. I've also heard this one is very good. This was also a dollar pickup from Dollar Tree. Howl, werewolf movie. So tell me about that one if you've seen it. Playback. It was $1. Not bad for $1. But you've heard that before. But no, it's not bad. It's not great, I'll be honest. But you know, it's decent. It's worth a watch once or twice anyway. So if you can get it cheap like I did, you know, you could do worse. The Road Warrior, one of the old Mel Gibson movies I like that I didn't have. This is actually the sequel to Mad Max. But I actually saw this before I saw Mad Max, and I love this movie, and I actually prefer it to Mad Max. And of course there's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which is the third one, which a lot of people basically dismiss, but it still has entertainment value. But Road Warrior, this is the best of the three as far as I'm concerned. Village of the Damned remake, starring Christopher Reeves and or excuse me, not Reeves, Reeve. Yeah, Christopher Reeve and Kirstie Alley. So I enjoyed this version of the movie quite a bit. I know a lot of people, you know, prefer the old black and white one, but I haven't seen it, so I can't compare it. But I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Frenzy, fun shark movie. Ridiculous, of course, but fun. Worth the $1 I paid for it at Dollar Tree. Terminator collection I got for cheap. Has Terminator Genesis, which is okay. But the kicker that really made me get it was the original Terminator, which I didn't have, and it's a Blu-ray, so why not? And I got this for less than $3, so good deal. During the Thanksgiving sale, I did find one movie that I just kind of wanted to get. Black Friday sale, and it was It Chapter 2, because I hadn't seen it. Didn't get to the theater to see it, and I heard that you could wait till it comes out on video, and said it wasn't as good as the first one, and I actually liked it as much or maybe a little more. I'm in the minority on that, but the only thing, again, I get, there's way more profanity than is necessary to be, for emphasis is what profanity is good for, and it just kind of gets muddied down when there's too much of it, and it just kind of, it doesn't work for emphasizing anything anymore if there's too much. But anyway, still a fun movie, has entertainment value, so I would recommend it. If you've seen the first one and you want to see how things play out, I'd recommend watching that one. Mirror Mirror, Karen Black. Finally got a copy of this. Watched it the other night about a mirror that basically takes possession of you and makes you do terrible things, and it revolves around a teenage girl who moves from LA to a smaller town with her mother, and she starts, she falls in love with this mirror, and they ask to keep it from the old estate, and they said no, it's supposed to go back to the estate, but they said, well, maybe we can arrange to have you buy it. And so this daughter's in love with it, and she ends up doing all kinds of stuff. She makes good friends with another girl in school, and she ends up doing things for us, like when kids are mean to her best friend, she'll do really nasty things to him. Of course, the best friend finds this out, and she's appalled. But I don't want to give any more of the movie away. But it's fun, definitely worth watching. We got some things sliding here. Here we go. Next up, this is Giallo, same guy that did Torso that I just showed you. Case of the Scorpion's Tail, another good Arrow version. So I tried to beef up my arrows here recently because I didn't have very many arrows. Blue City, upgrade from a VHS that I looked long and hard for the longest time. Got this really cheap. So I enjoy Ali Sheedy especially, and I like Judd Nelson too. So it's worth having just for Ali Sheedy as far as I'm concerned. But it's a pretty good little story. I like it. It's not like a movie that will stay with you forever, but it's a good watch. So, all right, triple dipping. I had to see the Arrow version of Beyond the Door. I did not get the limited edition with the extra documentary on it and the R-rated US cut of the movie. But there are some extras on here that were not included in the Code Red DVD or the Code Red Blu-ray. Now, honestly, I think the print they used for the Code Red Blu-ray looks better than this one, but this one has more special features. Not that this one's bad, it's a 2K scan of a negative, but the one that they used, or whatever print they used, I don't know if it was a negative, it just says 2K restoration of the uncut English export version, released as The Devil Within Her, another title. But aside from the scratches early on in the film, it looks and sounds good. But I honestly, usually, Code Red stuff is passable, and Arrow stuff knocks it out of the park. Honestly, I think that Code Red did a better job with this one, honestly. But I'm glad to have this for the other extras. So, anyway, there's Beyond the Door. Dolores Claiborne, a great interpretation of a Stephen King novel. One of the best. This is one that I've actually read before I saw the movie, and I was not disappointed in the movie. I thought the book was excellent. I couldn't quit reading it. It was probably the fastest read I've ever had in my life. And so the movie, the performances are excellent by Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh, so I can't recommend that one strongly enough. Next up, I've got Incubus, another movie that I got rid of. Again, sound like an old story again. Image DVD I had, and I decided, well, time to replace it, put it back in the collection. I sold some stuff once upon a time that I probably wished I hadn't sold, and I've acquired a few of them back, and some of the stuff I did sell I knew I would never watch again, so I'm glad they're gone, and I wouldn't get them in Blu-ray form even if they were released. But this is not one of them. This is actually a really fun movie from Vinegar Syndrome, Incubus. Another Giallo, Death Walks on High Heels, and I know this gentleman has released 2 other Giallos, and I don't know how this compares to the other ones. Apparently this is his second one of a trilogy, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. like I said, I don't know what the buzz is on these, if one's better than the other, and I can't remember the title of the other two. Might be here though. No, it doesn't mention them here. But anyway, the director's name is Luciano Ercoli. So if you want to look him up and see what his other giallos are, since I don't have that information ready, sorry. But anyway, I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's Arrow, so I'm sure that the transfer will be good, and it'll have some good bonus features to learn more about the movie. Here's a 2-disc combo of Blood-Sucking Freaks, finally getting rid of the VHS, or at least I've still got it. I don't know, nobody wants them anymore, it doesn't seem like, except for a few collectors. So if you want my copy from Vestron of Blood-Sucking Freaks, I've got one. It's cut to put in a case. It was a former rental, but I've got a VHS of it. But anyway, there is the Blu-ray of it, Blood-Sucking Freaks, probably the most, and they mentioned this, Lloyd Kaufman says it's the only movie that they probably wouldn't rebuy if they had to do it over again, because it's so misogynistic. But it's, anyway, it is what it is. It's a product of its time, and it's done for shock value, and it works. But it doesn't look realistic or anything. It's low budget, and it's just goofy. And if you like, you know, torture stuff, it's definitely got some of that in it. So one of the early versions of that. Alright, Angel, excellent movie. Always wanted a copy of this, finally got one on Blu-ray. But hey, that wasn't good enough, because I got the second one, Avenging Angel, and this one I've never seen, Angel 3, the final chapter. There is an Angel 4, but apparently the original makers had nothing to do with that one, and they don't count that one, and apparently most fans don't either. So anyway, that was the Blu-rays. I'm going through these kind of fast because I got a lot here and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I don't want you to get bored too quickly. Miss Meadows, Katie Holmes, love this. It's a great, kind of like a Dirty Harry, kind of a vigilante kind of movie. And it's a little more low-key. It's played with a little humor. Katie Holmes does a fantastic job in this. And I was so happy that I finally found a copy of this at Dollar Tree, because I've been looking for it a lot, because I know it's showed up there around the country in Dollar Trees, and I just never got one. And this is the last one they had the day I went in, and it even has a handy-dandy little slip cover. Same art, but you know, happy to get it, especially for $1. Free movie from Big Lots, Robocroc. If you want to talk about bad CGI, this one's got it in droves. Dee Wallace does a great job in this movie, and she does have a pretty central part in it. But the movie's fun and it's goofy. If you like Sci-Fi Channel stuff with bad CGI, this is the lowest of the low in the CGI department. I mean, it looks bad. It's so bad that you have to laugh at it, though. So I can't tell you it's not entertaining. It's definitely entertaining. So, you know, worth $1 or $2. Yeah, sure, why not? Mandy the Haunted Doll. I can't remember if I watched this or not. Maybe I didn't. No, don't think I did. Well, anyway, it was $1. Dollar Tree. Another Dollar Tree pickup, 131313. Don't know nothing about it. Any of these I have never seen. Please share me your thoughts with me on them if you've seen them. The Church, No Refuge for the Wicked. Another Dollar Tree. Devoured, Evil Lies Within. Haven't seen. Dollar Tree. Another one, Storage 24. Looks like kind of a sci-fi alien type horror movie. $23.59. Another $1 pickup. House of Salem. Ditto. Indigenous. Fall of Grace. Killers Within. I've heard this is really good, and this is probably going to be one of the next ones I watch. The Devil's Candy. It's got Ethan Embry, who I really like from Vegas Vacation and Dutch. So, yeah, Devil's Candy I'm looking forward to checking out, because apparently he's in it. So, Dead Bodies. It's got Kelly Riley from Eden Lake, so heard this was pretty good, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Haven't watched it yet. And when you consider all these last movies since the last DVDs I started with Miss Meadows, these have all been $1. I think all the rest of these have been $1. So I'll quit telling you that's what they were. Red Summer, haven't seen yet. Or no, I did watch this. It was okay. It wasn't bad. But that's about all I can say about it. I've heard this movie is so bad. I hope it's in the so bad it's good kind of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes kind of good, which I really liked. But anyway, Rubber. Haven't watched it yet. Waiting to watch it with a nephew of mine, so one of these nights we'll pull it out and watch it. The Summoning, not what you think it is, But it was still a pretty good story. I still enjoyed it. Bride of Scarecrow. Tell me your thoughts on it. The Followers. Again, one of those movies that isn't quite what you think it is, but not altogether bad either. Pretty good. Worth watch. The School. Again, decent. Not outstanding, but enjoyed it. Had a fun little vibe to it. I enjoyed it. American Nightmares. This is an anthology movie. Parts of it I liked, parts of it I didn't. But it was creative in many ways. So definitely, if you're an anthology fan, you know, if you can get it cheap, it's worth it. The Convent. Haven't watched yet. Just so happened when I went in Dollar Tree, they actually had a lot of stuff that I would really want to get, which is unusual because usually I can find a few things. This time I found a ton of stuff. I think this was back in September or October when I picked up all these. Shuttle, another one. This movie is good, except there's too much unbelievability in it. There's people that should die in this movie that don't based on their injuries, which I guess is all too common in these movies. But it's a little bit blatant in this one, and you know, I know it's edgy to have kind of a downer ending, and that's kind of like the trend, but actually I like a happy ending once in a while. So I'm not going to tell you how this one ends. I don't like to do spoilers, but I probably gave you too much of a spoiler there as it was. But you know, it was intriguing. I can say that. You know, it kept my interest. Let's see, some more from that same pickup, that same trip to Dollar Tree, The Bloodlands. And I actually enjoyed that one. It was actually pretty creepy. Had some plot holes in it that I didn't understand that I would have liked to have explained, but it was good. Now, here's the best of the dollar ones that I've seen, other than Miss Meadows, of course. Sheborg. Alright, if you're in the mood for a movie that's like Black Sheep, the horror movie, you know, with the sheep, Dead Alive, Peter Jackson, Bad Taste. Yeah, it's kind of in that vibe. It's not as good as those movies, but it definitely has the same feel to it, and it's funny. This movie is a gory comedy, is what it is. Sheborg. Definitely get this. If you can get this cheap, pick this up. It's so fun. I was laughing so hard watching this movie, so Sheborg I would have to recommend to you. Just got these, like within the last 2 or 3 weeks. Bad Kids of Crestview Academy. Again, don't know anything about it, so share your thoughts with me if you've seen it. The Eclipse. I don't know anything about this one either. So anyway, there's that one. It's got Aidan Quinn in it. It's the only actor I recognize off the top of my head. This is a pawn store pickup for $1. Savannah Smiles. Supposed to be a really cute family movie. I haven't seen it. It's an Anchor Bay release. So I was glad to pick it up for as cheap as I did. I think you can still get this. I don't think this is hard to get. So I haven't heard too much good about this, but again, the price was right, so I'm giving it a shot. Serial Slayer. So there's that. And last is Skeleton Man. Again, haven't read very much good about it, but you know, I got it cheap, so I figure I'll watch it and check it out and figure what my own opinion is on it. So anyway, sorry it's been so long since I did a video, but glad I got one done finally, and hope there was something here that you can say, boy, that is a good movie. I sure am glad you picked that up, or that movie's awful. Why'd you buy that? Don't even waste your time. So any opinions you have are great, and I love watching your all's videos too out there. So if I watch your videos and you want to watch mine, like and subscribe, but please, of course, please, I would appreciate that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to have another video for you in the not too distant future. Hope it doesn't take as long to do the next one as it did this one, but at least I had plenty to share. So anyway, y'all take care, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and if you're watching the Super Bowl, enjoy that. Catch you later. Bye.